can say is that we've learned so much. We've learned what to do when you're doing.
Assisted me in fulfilling my commitment to this mission.
Such a beautiful evening. Honorees, board members, and guests. My name is Joe Germanaro, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2020 NCM Awards. 2022. Anniversary edition. How many of you have been married for more than 20 years? I'd also like to extend a special welcome to my wife, Gabriella. We've been together since 1986. A year ago, she had a heart attack. She had 9 stents put in. 2 months ago, she had a stroke. So we're happy to have her with us this evening. Up and moving. This has been a rocky, I think, start, or a rocky series of events putting this together tonight, and it's been a little bit of stress today up until about 30 seconds ago. But I have to say that Pastor Jackie Fielder has outdone herself this year in terms of these honorees. We have some hitters here tonight, and we're happy and blessed by your presence. Now, I've been involved with NABHI for more than 20 years now, and what I think is so special about these awards is they honor members of the community, of the local community. And when you see awards on TV and you're separated geographically from the person, it's hard to really relate to them the way that you can when it's the kid that grew up across the street from you. So when I see these local people do great things, I remind myself to bookend this experience with inspiration on the one hand and humility on the other. And I think that helps to keep the ego in check. And, you know, in that regard, I see Judge David WECHT here tonight, and I wanted to share a quick anecdote with you about my experience with ego that maybe can help you to temper your own. Several years ago in my former life, I was pretty politically active, and there was a fellow running around town at that time by the name of Chuck Greenberg. Got your attention now, David. And Chuck represented Mario Lemieux in his successful acquisition of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And one day Chuck called me and he said, "Joe, would you be willing to help me and join our committee to elect David WECHT as judge?" And I said, "Sure, I'd be honored to." And shortly thereafter, I was, I guess, drunk with delusion, right? In the sense that I thought that they really wanted me to help. And so I spent some time over the next couple of weeks, you know, thinking through campaign strategies and what fundraisers I could put together with groups of friends of mine. And I thought of having a little strategic dinner with the committee members so we could get together and put our plans together. But a chunk of time went by, 2-3 weeks went by, and no word from Chuck. So I pick up the phone one day and I called Chuck. And I said, "Chuck, this is Joe. Thank you for inviting me to be on the committee. I'm really happy to be a part of it. I just wanted to know, what's the next step? What are we going to do here?" And Chuck said, "Joe," he said, "did you get an envelope in the mail?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you send a check?" I said, "Yeah, I sent the check." He said, "Okay, good. I think, we're done. That's all we need from you." So that was, I guess, an early lesson, maybe not enough of a lesson, in tempering one's ego and realizing. And so I think as we see the accomplishments of these people tonight, I think that we should, as I said earlier, bookend them with being inspired on the one hand and tempering our own egos on the other. So I'd like to now hand this over to Commander Stewart, and we'll get on with the evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. It is an honor and a pleasure to stand here, and I'm going to make this quick because we have to move on. Once he said about this organization, we've been together 20 plus years, and we look at people. The ones you see up here has been on our list for a while. You never know who might be on that list next. You never know. But at any rate, I love this work. I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. And I love y'all, and I thank you for being here. Really am. It's best to get your roses now than on the other side, because you can't enjoy it. So that's why we're here to honor these folks this evening. So thank you very much, and hopefully the same crowd, if not more, will come next year. With that, I will move on to the invocation prayer. Once again, my name is Richard A. Stewart Jr. If I didn't introduce myself, better known as Stu, some people call me Commander. No problem. You'll get my attention by saying Stu. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am now the proud superintendent at Clairton City School District. Yes. And I am grateful because I get to be part of history. Because of 106 years in that school district, I am their first African-American superintendent. So it is an honor. It absolutely is. And it's an honor to be amongst those who are honored today. And so I agree that we want to give you your flowers, your roses, whatever flower that is. Maybe it's your chocolate. Whatever it is that makes you happy, we want to make sure that you hear and receive the love and the honor that you deserve. And thank you, family, thank you, board members and sponsors, for sharing in this event to recognize these honorees tonight. But without me going further, I have to stop and pause for the reason that we're here and how we all got here. And that is through my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So we are going to go to the throne room, bless the food, and move on. So go with me, please. Lord Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, God, that you've already ordained and knew before the foundation of the earth, God. We ask, God, that you would be with us and you would guide us. And as you guided these honorees today through the legacy that they leave and the legacy in which they lead, God, we thank you for the example on this earth. We pray that we will be able to run with the vision and the plan that they have set before us, Father. We ask that you would bless every individual that is here, that we will be able to partake today of this food, that it would give us the nourishment to do your will, not our way, but your way, Father. And we ask right now, God, that everything that happens tonight, that you would be honored and glorified as we give you honor tonight. We thank you in Jesus' precious name. Amen. 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 I am now honored to present to you someone I've had the opportunity to always stand and even introduce, and every single time it's always my pleasure. I have Deidre Lassane, and let me say that right, Lassane, because she's insane if you know her. And let me tell you, she's witty, crazy, clean-cut style of comedy. She is a clean comic, no pun intended, always fresh and ready for a show. Putting God at the forefront of her life started her career in comedy, which began at her church. She has been performing and perfecting her craft for years. A native Pittsburgher, Deidre utilizes everyday life experiences and current events in her comedy. The jokes are definitely on you or for you. Either way it goes. Deidre has performed in open shows for many comedy greats such as Monique, Don, D.C. Curry, Tony Roberts, Faison Love, and Joe Torre. She has worked with veteran comedies, Touré, Tone X, A.G., White, and Kool-Aid, as seen on BET's Comic View. She has performed at the Pittsburgh Improv, Tampa Improv, Funny Bone, Laugh Factory Comedy Clubs, and hopefully Clarendon City Schools. Okay, hopefully that'll be on her next one. She currently performs at venues throughout Pittsburgh and travels the tri-state area. Her versatility spans from corporate to church to family events and local bars and comedy venues. Whether you need an MC, a feature, or a headliner, she is your comic. And she is our MC for this evening, Miss Deidre Lassane. Thank you. Let's welcome her.
Oh, that's so much pressure. You forgot to mention Tom Hanks, okay? All those other comedians, Kool-Aid, this is a different type of crowd. They didn't know those people. It's okay. Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts. Next time, I opened up for them too. I saw them in the comfort of my living room watching their famous movies, so it counts. I'm Deidre Lassane. I don't know, I gotta change that bio. That's a lot. I need to just, I need you to just read one of the obits or something. We got Cyril Reck here. It's perfect. Read the obits from the Sunday before the next time you introduce me. She lived, she loved, and she's moved on to heaven. I have a sense of humor because I feel like I rather laugh than cry. That's my mantra, right? And if any of us on this side of the dirt, right, it's a blessing with all the people we lost from COVID and all the different things like that. But I ever feel so privileged and honored tonight to be at this prestigious event with one of the most humble and giving organizations that I've ever been a part for in my career of nonprofit and community service, which I'm passionate about. NABHI Christian Ministries, if you don't know this, they have been doing millions of things in the community for such a long time. This award show I've been privy to for the last 2 or 3 years, but I've been an active participant in their coat drive and their back to school Christmas extravaganza. They do so much. So I first want to say give it up for NABHI Christian Ministries, I'm sorry. And Jackie Fielder and all of the board members. If you're a board member, please stand. You had Stu up here. We had Miss Leah Kirkland in the room. Tamira Allen, the prayer that made me feel like I was going to get skinny at the end. You said nourishment. I said, girl, I'm about to lose weight when you get done thanking the Lord for this. So I love it. They're near and dear to my heart. They're like family. I wanted to thank who did I miss, Leah? Joe. Oh yeah, Joe. Joe spoke first. Joe.
He's still sitting though.
Yeah, Joe, stand up. Joe, he's so modest. He's so modest. Give it up for Joe and his story about just write a check, Joe. That's what you sit down. Okay, it's time to sit down. No, we're done here, Joe. It's the same thing what David told you. You wrote a check, it's over. Okay, same thing. But I'm standing in the gap right now for my longtime, lifelong mentor, Chris Moore. He usually hosts this event. And so I'm standing in the gap for him right now. His name is in the program, so if you were waiting for him, I'm sorry. Only thing I have in common for him is probably about the length of my hair, but other than that, I am woman, hear me roar. So I just wanted to thank the sponsors tonight, Highmark and UPMC, ever so graciously for sponsoring this event. I love to see Highmark and UPMC together and do things, because there was a time where Highmark and UPMC, I can say that. I worked for UPMC. It was a struggle. I said, man, I'm gonna have to get my teeth cleaned in Edgewood and then maybe get my heart checked in Oakland if they don't get this together. You know, they were getting funny about insurances. We remember. Some of you in the room, some of you not so much, and that's okay because you're prestigious. It's beneath you. It's beneath you. But for the rest of us who remember that rocky road, that rocky divorce paper between Highmark and UPMC was a little dicey, right? Thank God they're back together again and came back to their first love, and I'm grateful. All right, now we're back to the show. Want to thank the sponsors. We have a wonderful tribute coming up next for one of our honorees is Serena Taylor. And please be mindful to read all of the nice, beautifully written bios of all the honorees tonight. I mean, they're really long, but they're very, very important to all of the work, and it speaks to their body of work and their contribution to the city of Pittsburgh. So be mindful of that. Please keep your talking to the minimum and your cell phone ringers on, vibrate, or silent. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel. It's 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
Remarks by Zayamora Feliz Taylor. Did I say your name right? I'm sure I didn't. I'm sorry. We're gonna correct it. Ex-mayor. Okay, we have ex-mayor Feliz Taylor that's going to give some kind remarks. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank all of you for being here this evening. It's true when you hear the saying, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. The last 9 years, we have watched Serena grow into a smart, dedicated, full of life young lady. Serena has a heart of gold. She is an animal lover. If she can pick up every single dog from the street, we would have a dog pound. Like her father says, you can do what you want when you have your own house. Serena has served her community by helping decorate downtown Uniontown and volunteer at the Special Olympics softball game with people that have special needs. Serena always thinks about others more than herself. Serena was a 4.0 student of Uniontown High School all 4 years. She was a cheerleader since she was 5. She was a dancer since she was 7. She was a National Honor Society student. Serena, in 2 weeks away from completing her first semester of college at the Fairmont State University in West Virginia. Her goal is to make the dean's list. We know that she will succeed with what she sets her mind to. What Serena wants, Serena gets. No, she's not spoiled, she's just determined. Determined to be very successful in life. She will not stop until it happens. Serena has made many friends while in college, some who have no parents. Some who has only one parent. While Serena thinks of herself, she also thinks about her friends on how they can do better, be better for themselves. She encourages her friends to do better. Serena's heart is filled with love, and I hope that everyone here can see the love that she feels for people. I hope all who looks up to her sees what I see and feels what I feel. Serena, I just want you to know that Mom and Dad, we are very proud of you. We love you, and we are your #1 supporters. Thank you.
Give it up for Serena. That's wonderful. Excellent. Now we're going to move on to a proclamation of Councilman I read this proclamation from the Pittsburgh City Council. Whereas Serena Marie Taylor was born and raised in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. She is the daughter of Richard and Examira Taylor, and the youngest of 8 children. And whereas Miss Taylor graduated from Uniontown High School with the highest honors in June of 2022. She was also a member of the National Honor Society and a cheerleader. And whereas Miss Taylor has participated in the Special Olympic softball games with special needs people. Whereas Miss Taylor is currently attending Fairmont State University, majoring in forensic science and minoring in chemistry with the goal of becoming a DNA analyst. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Miss Taylor for her dedication to academic excellence and community service. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, November 4th, 2022 to be Serena Marie Taylor Day in the City of Pittsburgh. Passed in Council on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. Teresa Colley Smith, President of the Council, attests Kimberly Clark Baskin, CMC City Clerk. Sponsored by Councilman Reverend Ricky V. Burgess.
All right.
Cut. Tamara will read your second award.
I now have the honor to present Serena, who I just met, with this wonderful award. And I'd just like to say this: Transformational Leadership, Serena Taylor 2022. But Serena, I want you to look at this, because look at the representation of this. This is a cup, and I pray it will always be full, and that you will be able to continue to spill out and pour out onto others through being a transformational leader. Congratulations.
Good evening. I would like to thank the NABHI Christian Ministries for this award. I feel honored and blessed to be able to stand alongside the other honorees. To my parents and the rest of my family members that made it tonight, thank you for the outpouring love and support. I'm half the woman, the young lady I am because of you all. After receiving this award as a young college student, it makes me hopeful of my future and success. This is only the beginning. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. So wonderful to be here and celebrate, and congratulations to all of the honorees. I'm Dr. Sheila Beasley, and I'm honored to celebrate Dr. Sturdivant this evening. I said to her when we were talking about this, I said, there's no way I can do justice to such a phenomenal person in 2 minutes in the tribute. But I promise to do so, as it is a true honor to celebrate her and share a bit on her behalf. I knew her of her accolades as Deputy Director of the Children, Youth, and Families, and I admired her as we often walked from the parking lot at the same time into the Lexington building where CYF and the University of Pittsburgh had offices. Of course, she was always dressed to the nines, professional and sharp, and even radiated that beautiful smile and pleasant demeanor first thing in the morning. Then I was blessed to be selected to co-chair with her the Outreach Committee of the Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh's African American Trust. That was when I was able to get up close and in proximity to witness her brilliance, her negotiation and leadership skills, combined with a unique passion for the preservation of our culture. That indeed was the rare and admirable quality that you know now is part of her natural conviction to uplift and equip people, our culture in particular. Dr. Sturdivant has made a tremendous contribution to our community through her tireless efforts at CYF, professor at Point Park University and the University of Pittsburgh, the National Black Development Institute, Nazarene Baptist Church, and more, including her most recent role at the helm of NEED as the president and CEO. I must say though, yes, that's all right, You know that's right. That's a lot. But I must say, even with all of those accomplishments, the most outstanding outcomes have been achieved through her work to improve health in the lives of tens of thousands of people over generations of time. I'm most honored and grateful, though, to call her my sister. Sister, S-T-A-R, y'all. Sister and my mentor. Our professional affiliation has transcended to even more of a beautiful, familiar, kindred relationship. We have shared the most precious of life experiences with highs of graduations and parades with her wonderful sons as drummers. Then we've also experienced many of the lows of loss. And I always will cherish the time that my mom, Reverend Beasley, who's here, my baby girl, Kennedy Israel, we were at your home with my brother Larry, and we all sang hymns together and prayed for Mother as she immediately was anointed and just felt the Spirit, and she transitioned to glory in such a beautiful way. That was the most precious memory. My beautiful sister, and ain't she pretty, y'all? Can't take a bad picture, she's gorgeous. Has been an unwavering source of strength for me and my family when we've needed it most. We're grateful she's been sent from God to make us, the babies she's reunited, the students she has led in scholarship, the staff she has equipped, and the family she has supported, to not only make us happy, but to serve as a charming gardener who has made our souls blossom. Dear sister, Dr. Sturdivant, thank you for your immeasurable impact. May God continue to richly bless you and keep you and your beautiful family. Congratulations on this well-deserved, distinguished Lifetime Achievement Award. Love you.
All right.
Mr. Lamar Blackwell here? Right here, right now. Okay, thank you.
Little adjustment. Who in this room knows what it feels like to go to sleep every night as a high school student, terrified that a stray bullet may come shattering through your window and potentially rip through their flesh? I did. Who in here knows what it feels like to be confined in a single neighborhood for nearly their entire childhood because their guardians don't have enough resources for them to travel anywhere outside of their recognizable community blocks? I did. Who in here knows what it feels like to feel like you would never escape the broken community where you witness aunts, uncles, and some of the very adults who raised you self-medicating through syringes and needles because the social ills of their environment was simply just too much to handle? I did. But luckily enough for me, one spring day, over 10 odd years ago, a woman by the name of Dr. MARCIA Sturdivant altered the trajectory of my life and thousands of other young black men and women's lives, affording them the opportunity to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty, learned underachievement, and cyclical government reliability. By not only affording them the opportunity to travel beyond their neighborhoods to unrecognizable states where they would see black students succeeding at an irregular rate, by not only affording students the opportunity to fund their college experiences so that they could change the trajectory of their lives, by not only giving their unseasoned souls the mentorship that they needed to create social capital and change the cycle of intergenerational failure, but by being the epitome of one word: a mother. What would I have done without Dr. Sturdivant? And Dr. Sturdivant, I am not referring to Lamar Blackwell, but I stand here before you on behalf of the 32,864 young black men and women that you have affected through your legacy. And I, Dr. Sturdivant, am not referring to Lamar Blackwell, but I stand before you on behalf of the 32,864 young black men and women you have affected through your legacy, your ministry, and most importantly, your love. And that's only counting the needs, students. You have been the bridge that young black students pray to the Lord about, that joins community and opportunity. You have been the vessel that God has utilized you have been the vessel that God has utilized to help underserved youth turn their poverty into prosperity. You have been the very last thread of cotton that has held together the laundry bag of social justice, higher education, and opportunity for black lives, and have kept it from tearing. You have been what God has called you to be. You see, 12 young black men in Pittsburgh public high schools were senselessly killed in 2015 when they were on summer break. 27 black mothers had to watch their daughters drop out of high school during Easter break of 2017 due to early teenage pregnancy. Between the years of 2018 and 2022, 327 black and brown families in Allegheny County had to witness their high school graduate children begin the same cycle of underachievement, intergenerational poverty, and failure that the media has perpetuated about our people since the beginning of time. But wait, none of that really happened, because in 2017, those 12 black kings who would have been murdered participated in the Need Male Mentoring Program under Dr. Sturdivant's leadership. Those 27 young women who were too busy exploring the possibilities of what they could become on HBCU campuses, while Dr. Sturdivant mentored them on a Need HBCU tour, and those 327 black families gave their babies to you, Dr. Sturdivant, believing that students who get involved with an organization with such strong black women as their president and CEO will never have to worry about repeating that vicious cycle. Dr. Sturdivant, you haven't just been leading an organization. You have been altering the lives of black students and black youth who need it the most. I know what it feels like to have a mother, but since the day I met Dr. Sturdivant, I knew what it felt like to have two. Your words have always been sincere, rich, and comforting. Your disposition anytime I was struggling was always one in which was in alignment with what you knew that God had for me or whomever you were speaking to. Your spirit is infectious and your soul is truly an anomaly, because most people in your position don't reach back out to those in need, but they use them as a step stool to get where they need to be. So on behalf of everyone like me, thank you for using your platform to bless us. This honorarium is well deserved. And with that, Dr. Sturdivant, I conclude like this. When we think of the word stewardship, we often think of philanthropy or financial giving of some sort. But the true meaning of being a good steward is about management. You see, none of this stuff on this earth is actually ours. And if you don't believe me, just die and see what happens. We are all responsible for managing the things that God has given us, whether it be our cars, our houses, our jobs, or our gifts, such as our ability to help the youth achieve their dreams, our ability to share knowledge with others, our ability to create We are to give others what God has given us freely and willingly, and also manage what he has blessed us with. So I ask you all in this room one question. What in the world are you doing with what God has given you? Because I know someone who has given her knowledge, who has given her love, who has given her experiences, who has given her time and her resources to myself and many communities filled with individuals who look like me, freely and willingly. The epitome of a good steward, Dr. Marcia STURDIVANT. Thank you.
I don't know what proclamation could come behind that. I just want to say, yes. Understand that the proclamations are very similar in nature, so I'm just going to get to the point where we recognize it's just so much. I'm trying to realize which part am I going to just recognize. See, how she's just like, just say it's a proclamation. But I am going to say, now therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Dr. STURDIVANT for her lifelong dedication to leadership in the field of child welfare, education, and developmental psychology. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, November 4th, 2022 to be Dr. Marcia STURDIVANT Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
I knew better than to follow Dr. Beasley and Attorney Blackwell, because you're such great speakers, and they, I don't know, they're just what, when you invest in children, this is what you get. Yes, so, and Lamar will be our next governor, or president, yes. So, I am a teacher and an educator, so I came prepared, and I will read my little thing here. I am overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive this Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm particularly proud of being acknowledged among a group of such esteemed and legendary Pittsburghers. Thank you all so much for being here to share in this occasion. I am so honored to have my work recognized in this way by NABHI Christian Ministries. I know firsthand, because we do it every year, that many hours went into this awards dinner, and it means so much to me that the work that I am so passionate about also resonates with others. This accomplishment is not something that I did alone, and there are many others who deserve to share in this award. First, I would like to thank my family, Mr. Larry Anderson, we call him Big Larry, Little Larry, Tuskegee University graduate, Marshall Anderson, my son, Morehouse College, support HBCUs, and Alethea, my other mother. My friends, Dr. Beasley, Mother or Reverend Beasley, our baby Izzy, Denise Allen Brown, my running partner in Ride or Die, and the Honorable Rena Watson, my friend. Thank you. My colleagues at Need, in Lamar, a son I borrow from,
his wonderful mom. Thank you so much. Just briefly, as a young girl growing up in the Mon Valley, it seemed as if I was always in church, on any given day, in any given community, at any given time. Those old school values have served me well in this new school age. It seems most appropriate, or should I say prophetic, that I am receiving this faith-based award. I learned early on to put God first, and if I followed his ways of loving and caring about others, his light in me would shine favorably on others. I hope that this recognition of my work can serve as an inspiration to young minoritized children and marginalized families everywhere. This award serves to remind others that if my small work can make a difference, so can yours. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
Is there anyone here that has not been introduced? You must feel bad. I moved to Pittsburgh in 1978, and one of the first people I heard about was Dr. Cyril WECHT, and he was a real celebrity 43 years ago, and he continues to be. We ran against each other in a political campaign. We debated 13 times. In fact, his son David participated in one of the debates. Now, debating Cyril is not any fun. He's maybe one of the smartest men that I've ever known. But we were antagonists, and so we did our debates. But it was never personal. We only talked about the issues. Wouldn't it be nice if today that was the way that politicians would be? If I see one more negative TV ad, I'm going to have erectile dysfunction.
Did you work on that for a
I have to be very careful how I pronounce that. But the thing I learned about Cyril in 13 debates was that he cared about his community, he cared about his family, and he cared about public service. And it was very obvious. And when we served together in the county, I realized that his department was the single most efficient department in all of the county. There was no nepotism, there was all professional, and he was always under budget. He never complained about anything, and his office got more compliments from people outside that would call or write about their experience in the coroner's office. And so we became friends while we were in office together, and we've remained friends. We see each other often with our families, our wives. My wife couldn't be here tonight. We celebrated our 69th wedding anniversary. I told somebody we were celebrating our 69th, and my wife corrected me. She said, "We're observing." But there's a secret to a long marriage. It's separate bank accounts and a bad memory. But I think that Cyril really deserves this award because he has been a public servant in a variety of roles, county commissioner, coroner, and I believe that of all the people I have known, he has given back to the community as much as any or more than most people. And that's really what a public servant does, gives back to the people, to the community. He was born in the Hill District, raised there, and has always been a champion for people of color. And so, Cyril, thank you very much for your wonderful service. Thank you for being so damn smart. And thank you for, mostly important to me, thank you for being my friend. God bless you.
And we have Mr. Yeah, he's coming up next. Our next person that's going to give remarks is Mr. Mark Southers.
All right, Mark.
Hello, everyone. Honorable Watson, Honorable Kimberly. Where's she at? Oh, I just passed you. She reminded me I did her wedding pictures 31 years ago. Yeah. Maestro Campbell, my neighbor. My name is Mark Southers. I'm the founder and artistic director of Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater Company. Some of you may know that I suffered a terrible car accident, my wife and I, about 7.5 years ago, and I was on death's doorstep. Yeah, and it was quite a ride in my mind. And one thing is, I said, if I wake up in the spirit world, I don't want to look down and see Cyril over top of me. I always mess with him about that. But Dr. WECHT came and saw a production we did of Jitney about 12 years ago. And we just remounted this past summer, so it's been 13 years. And he wanted to come backstage. He was so moved by it. He wanted to come backstage and, meet the cast, him being a Hill District resident, former Hill District resident. He wanted to meet the cast. And he came back and he spent a lot of time with the actors, and it really was a huge deal for them to meet a famous person like that that came to see the show. But we became friends after that, and he's been great. He's been a great part of our family, offering advice. He's someone that I can confide in with our theater company and talk about different things. We started having lunch like once a month, and for 2 years I interviewed him over a 2-year period. I missed a couple because I was fighting depression, and he was real patient, and we picked right back up where we left off. But during the process of his interviews, I was going to write a play about him called Cyril. And during the process, George Floyd was murdered. And it made its way, it bogarted its way into the play. And I called Dr. WECHT. I said, Doc, it's George Floyd's knocking on the door and wants to come in this whole situation. And he just said, right from your heart, And we ended up writing it, and because of COVID, we couldn't do a play, so we made it into a film. And we filmed it in a couple weeks in his office and at the Westmoreland Morgue, and we entered it in probably 40 different film festivals, and it got selected for 11, and it won first place at the Denton Black Film Festival. And out of the 11 film festivals, 9 of them were black film festivals, because of the subject matter, you know. So it was, the thing is when you write characters, you know, you create characters, but there's only one Cyril Wecht. And so we, you know, they never let us let him talk, and it worked out really well because the true essence of Cyril came through as a mediator between a white reporter and a black cameraman who had differences, Republican and Democrat, and he was able to identify with things coming from the Jewish culture, and just the way he spoke. When I wrote, it just came through me, you know, to try to make this character, which is already him, he's playing himself, but the things that I added that wasn't his words kind of flowed right in, and it was really, it was like a phenomenal thing to see. I didn't really want to take credit for it, you know, but it's been a pleasure to work with Dr. Wecht, to have him in my life. August Wilson was a mentor of mine, and I met August the same year that my father passed, and Cyril's a mentor, and I look to him for grandfatherly advice, fatherly advice, brotherly advice, and friend advice. He's a wonderful man, and he deserves this honor so much, and I really appreciate you all honoring him like this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Now we have coming to speak is Hop Kendrick.
Good evening. You know, Cyril had called me and asked me would I introduce him. And before I could respond, he said, I want you to keep in mind, I'm the guest of honor. So I said, okay. Where can I go back to the 1940s? Some of you wasn't born then. He was a young man, or a young boy. We went to Fifth Avenue High School, where it was a melting pot. There were, of course, there were colors in the school. We wasn't black then. There were Italians, Jews, Chinese. I'm missing somebody. Syrians. And over the years, we maintained a relationship. I saw him as county commissioner. I saw him as the coroner. He set a record in the coroner's office of having more people of color in his department than ever in the history of this county. And that was before we marched and picketed. We didn't do none of that. That's what he did. I met two of his sons at separate times, and they walked up to me and with a great sense of pride. They said, "Hop, I'm Cyril's son." And he's a family man. Loves his family, loves his grandchildren, and I can respect him for it, because in May, I'll be married 69 years. I'll be 92 in a couple of weeks. And we have been friends ever since the 1940s. And all of you should consider yourself his friends. because of all the politicians I've met in my 90-something years, black and white alike, Cyril stands head and shoulders above all of them. And I told Cyril I'd be brief. And it's kind of difficult for me. But I feel so proud when I walk down the street and people say, "Oh, I saw your man." I said, "Who's my man?" "Cyril Wecht, who else?" "That's on the point you got." So with no further ado, I present to you, not my friend, all of our friends, Dr. Cyril Wecht.
That was wonderful. I'm going to read your proclamation. I don't even know what can be said after the last three speakers have spoken on your behalf. I'm telling my age now, only for presidents to this legend that we are in the midst of, and you, Dr. Wecht. I work for Pitt. You are the godfather of pathology. When I have to learn the history of Pitt, your name comes up. You are a legend, the famous, the legendary, the celebrity, the trailblazer, the freedom fighter. There's so many accolades after your name, and I'm going to be brief and read this proclamation because I also know that you work tirelessly still. The Pittsburgh City Council proclamation, whereas Dr. Cyril H. Wecht was born on March 20th, 1931 in a tiny mining village in Dunker Township, PA called Bobtown. His father was a storekeeper and his mother was a homemaker and helped out in the store. Whereas Dr. Wecht earned a Bachelor's of Science from the University of Pittsburgh in 1952, an MD degree from the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine in 1956, a Bachelor's of Law from the University of Pittsburgh School of Law in 1962, and a Juris Doctor degree from the University of Maryland School of Law. Whereas in 1959, he served in the United States Air Force at the Air Force Hospital, Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, where he became a captain in the medical corps. He became a forensic pathologist. He served on the staff at St. Francis Hospital in Pittsburgh before becoming deputy coroner of Allegheny County in 1965. What an epic year. 4 years later, he was elected coroner. Webb served as coroner from 1970 to 1980 and again from 1996 to 2006. Whereas Dr. Webb became famous, appearing on television and consulting on deaths with high media profile, including the great Robert F. Kennedy, Elvis Presley, Kurt Cobain, and Anna Nicole Smith. Whereas Dr. Wecht has been married to his wife, Sigrid Rosedale, for 61 years, and is a father of 4 children, including David Wecht, an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Dr. Wecht for displaying exceptional leadership ability and professional discipline. But it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, November 4th, 2022 to be Dr. Cyril H. Wecht Day in the City of Pittsburgh. This is sponsored by the Councilman, Reverend Ricco D. Burgess. Dr. Wecht, if you may, and stand so we can present you with the legendary, famous Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
I remember many years ago there was an actress, Eva Marie St. Clair, and she was toasted and toasted and toasted, and went on and on and on.
And finally I got to her and she sat up and she said, "Aw, shucks." What the hell more is there to say? I am deeply honored by this proclamation. It means a great deal to me. And to be honored with old friends like Judge Clark, Tim Stevens, and had the pleasure this evening of meeting Dr. Sturdivant and Serena Taylor. Marvelous people. And we go back a long way. We had some interesting times together, as I have had with Mark Clayton Southers, whose name is misspelled in the program. You'll hear from his attorney tomorrow. And Hop Kendrick, and my old political adversary and good friend, Jim Roddy. I appreciate deeply their comments. It's a pleasure to be here with my family. I've had a couple of references made to Justice David Wecht, so I owe something to my second son, who is a neurosurgeon, Daniel Wecht. Anybody needs a brain tumor removed, see Danny. My daughter, Ingrid Wecht. Anybody wants to have a baby delivered, she's an obstetrician gynecologist. And my son, Ben Wecht, who is program director of the Cyril H. Wecht Institute of Forensic Science and Law at Duquesne University. We are blessed, my wife and I, with 4 wonderful kids like this and 11 grandchildren, none of whom could be here this evening. Unfortunately, most of them are still in school and others have jobs. But we're very, very lucky. I met my wife when I was in the Air Force, and we've been married for 61 years. And there's still a line from Jim Roddy, which he did not use tonight, 61 years, and he said, you know, some of them weren't so bad. Now, my lovely wife from Norway, and she's meant everything to me. I could not be continuing with things without her. She's in my office every day, the comfort and support in every conceivable manner. Well, I'm sorry that some of your food is getting cold. You can read all about me. My God, I don't know when I spoke so much. Somebody copied it down, whatever. But a lot of wonderful, warm memories. Pop and I back at Fifth Avenue High School, before there were rappers. Pop, what, we played the dozens, man, the dozens. Rappers, that's something new. That's new bullshit. Making the movie with Mark Clayton Southers is a real professional. Dealing with Jim Roddy when he was a very good county executive, and working with him on so many programs. So I hope I haven't missed anybody. I want to congratulate Tim and Kim and Dr. Sturdivant and Serena Taylor, a very lovely young lady, and I wish her well in her future career. So thank you, folks. I just have one complaint. If you listen carefully to the program and the presentations, the proclamations by Councilman Ricky Burgess, I have one complaint. You notice that each day, today, the 4th, has been designated as, so I'm sharing this day with everybody. We got to chop it up and decide. We'll do it in 4-hour segments, okay? All right. So thank you all. Enjoy your food, and thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18 RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
Moving right along, we're going to have some friends of Mr. Stevens come up to speak. Coming up first is a good friend of mine, Miss Lorraine Coss, who's going to give some special remarks about Mr. Stevens, who she worked side by side at B-PEP.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody enjoyed the meal. It was quite delicious. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Who would have known that Tim was a singer, the singing activist? Had no idea. But it's such an honor to be his friend, and I'm honored to just mention just a few words. I met Tim back in 2005. Thank you, Ricco. I was the chair of the African Heritage Month Committee for the Federal Executive Board, and I needed a speaker. And so I saw Tim Stevens on TV, and I said, oh, I want to get Tim. And so I called him. I was like, hey, Mr. Stevens, what you know? He's like, you want me? He's like, I'm no longer the president of the NAACP. You don't want me? I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. He said, are you sure? He said, they didn't want me at the NAACP. I said, Tim, we want you. And from that time on, I've been his friend, and I've been honored to know him and to be a part of B-PEP. And with that, all the B-PEPers over there, would y'all please? Our motto with B-PEP is that we vote in each and every election, and y'all know that November the 8th is an upcoming election that is very important, that we all need to take 1, take 2, take 5 if you can, out to vote. And if you need a ride, you can call us, or Miss Brenda Tate, and we'll get you there. Tim, I tell you, everything that I wanted to say, they played your song. You said on the screen, and I know that time is running out, but I just really want to give you your flowers. Tim always gives someone flowers, and it's an honor that they're giving you these flowers.
I'm not Jones.
No. He says, I must be dying. Everybody's honoring me. What's going on? No, you're just a beautiful person, and you're so deserving of this legacy. Thank you.
All right, Pastor Michael, forgive me. I'm reading Tim Stevenson's handwriting here, but up next to give some gushing remarks from Mr. Stevens is Pastor Michael Day of the Legacy International Worship Center. He also is with B-PEP. He is listen, I'm trying to read this. Coalition Against Violence Youth Peace Summit Coordinator. I messed up the beginning, but this is Tim's writing. Don't blame me. Blame your boss.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to move quickly because we only have 13 and a half minutes left to be in this place. So let's do this. Can we give all these honorees a hand? I'm up here, I've been sitting there for the last several minutes just thinking like, wow, I think our table is probably the youngest table in the building right now. And I will say this, that it is indeed an honor and a privilege to serve next to a great man such as Tim Stevens. I've heard Fifth Avenue School. My father, who's from Whiteside Road, went to Fifth Avenue School. My mother is from Francis Street, so I'm all over I'm a part of the Hill District, I'm a part of the North Side, I'm a part of the South Side. I'm Pittsburgh bred all the way.
and to see a man such as Tim Stevens to work hard for not only our city, but for our region and for our country deserves a round of applause. And so I have the awesome privilege to be the Youth Peace Summit coordinator of B-PEP. It's an awesome privilege. He always talks about how me and the organization are the same age. We don't look, I know I look 12, but I have a 5-year-old who is acting 12 now. But I am grateful to God that I get to serve alongside him to make sure that all people receive justice and that we make sure that our voices are heard. So as Ms. Lorraine said, be sure to vote because this man has served beyond what was actually to be recognized. He has done this not for no money. He hasn't done it because he loved people. And he is called to do this. Let's give him a hand for that.
Thank you. That's what I love about pastors. He's a pastor. He knew it. Listen, they know how to wrap it up. Say what they say in the name of the Lord and be done with it. He was a great man. He lived. Amen. He lived. Amen. Jesus wept. Okay, so without further ado, Mr. Tim, we're going to present you with your proclamation. I will not be reading it because it is long. And we know it is well with my soul, the proclamation soul, and the soul of everyone here. But we do appreciate you. I will publicly say how much you kind of impacted my background. I'm a part of a little organization that spawned from B-PEP. We're called VEEM, the Voter Education Empowerment Enrichment Movement. I'm a board member of that board. So voting empowerment, you cannot walk the streets of Pittsburgh on any angle without this man's name coming into conversation, or you happen to go through what I would say the boot camp with Tim Stevens to get vetted to make sure you go out right and tight. So we appreciate you, the groundwork you do, the foundation, and just for being who you are, authentic as a leader. So here is your reward. And your other award. And we're not going to say this is Tim Stevenson's day because Dr. Cyril Work said you're all sharing.
This one. Somebody do something. Yep, I got you. All right.
I'm happy. B-Peppers, stand up. Come on, give my hand. My B-Peppers over there. We voted each and every election. That's it. All right, sit down. Take it away from my time.
1 minute left.
1 minute left. So, first of all, thank you all, and thanks for the NABHI Christian Ministries and Jackie Fielder and my friend Richard A. Stewart Jr. called Stu. He tries to be mean, but he's not really. So I've been privileged, in all honesty. I kid about the honors I've gotten over the years, and recently they called me for another one. It's getting to the point where this is my great niece, Abby, representing the family. Abby Stevens came, and I just got an acknowledgement recently, and I sent it to the family, and she went to the place for December 17th, because she thought that's how many. So I'm about to die, and at least I heard that some people liked what I did and appreciated some things. This is my tennis. We played tennis together in terms of lessons. I never learned. We just talked and had a lot of fun. Did we not? By the way, your presenter, I mean, seriously, I know I've done some things, but this was impactful, what you've done to young people. I'm serious. So, my honor to be with Cyril Wecht. Cyril Wecht is one of my heroes. I'm serious. And I tell people this without hesitation. I think of all the white politicians in my history, Cyril stands above all in terms of his commitment to justice. And I say that without hesitation. Kimberly Clark stands with dignity all the time, representing us. And we were so happy to see you elevated to where you are. And the young lady, Serena Taylor, right? I know you're going somewhere because you've already come somewhere. And let's give her another hand because she's going to be Miss Clean somebody. That smile is fabulous. And it's,
Dr. Sturdy.
you know, no, I mentioned Dr. Sturdy. Listen there, Cheryl. Listen up. But some of you heard me say this before, but when you get honored because of the work you do, you're really, who's being honored are all of those who have assisted and partnered. As I said in the video, leadership is a gift of fellowship, because if nobody follows you, obviously you must not have much leadership. So it's a gift. And I've been blessed most of the time in my 50 plus years of activism, even though I'm only 57, that I've had just wonderful people in my circle. My activism goes back to my mom. Both my parents had a great sense of humor. My vocal side comes from my dad. And we all are inheriting all of this. So I just want to thank you all. And once I get an award, then that means I have to go out and earn it again and keep working. Victoria, working with us on corporate equity. Jack is with us from the beginning, way back with corporate equity. So I want to thank my friend Greg Spencer and his wife for coming out and supporting it. Everybody over there. So thank you all so much. I'm going to keep working until I can't work anymore. Don't forget to vote in each and every election.
All right, so without further ado, we are preparing to close the end of our program. I just wanted to make again some quick kind of FYIs, important notes. Again, thanking our sponsors, UPMC and Highmark. Thanking the staff here at the Rivers Club. The meal was really good, right? Okay. Some of you guys, I'm not looking at you, ma'am. I'm looking over here. But we're grateful for this time. I also wanted to make note that every honoree here on their award is mentioned as honorable. Because NABHI Christian Ministries truly believes that every nominee tonight is honorable. You don't have to be a judge. It doesn't have to be a title. You're honorable for all the work and the foundation that'll be done. But I mean, typically it'll be like honorable. It's a certain title. But here, everybody on the award. Reverend Jackie wanted me to point that out.
I expect to be addressed that way from this day forward.
No, that's it. We're giving your flowers, and this is it. No, but I just wanted to make note of that. That she, that was a touch point. That everybody here is honorable and mention it in their lifetime achievement awards, the different awards that the honorees for tonight. So, so now we are going to have some friends, and is this family too? Friends and colleagues speak on behalf and give some remarks for Judge Kimberly Clark, Regina Wilson, Esquire, the Honorable Justice Cynthia A. Baldwin. So Regina? I'm sorry? Oh, sure, I'm sorry. No, that's okay. Back in the
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Regina Wilson. Congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. Don't worry, I know my 1.5 to 2 minute limit, so I'm on it. I'm excited to celebrate the Honorable Kim Berkeley Clark this evening. I really got to know Judge Clark when I was a law student. She served as a mentor and advocate for over 15 years. She's always there to provide guidance, encouragement, and support, and a little nudge in the right direction. I admire Judge Clark for all that she has accomplished in her legal career and the trails that she has blazed for those like me who have come after her. I especially admire her for her dedication and commitment to her family, her faith, our community, and to making the judicial system equitable for all. Her dedication and commitment are demonstrated in so many ways. What stands out to me is her creating and maintaining a courtroom that, in her words, is a safe, quiet, and peaceful place. A place of inclusivity, not exclusivity. A space where everyone has the right to be heard and have their positions considered. Her willingness to serve on local, statewide, and national committees, boards, and commissions to ensure that different perspectives are presented and considered. She makes numerous presentations to local high school students about the law and the judicial system. And most importantly, Judge Clark used her voice to acknowledge the systematic racism in our county judicial court system and called on all parties, including judges, court staff, and lawyers, to commit to creating an equitable judicial court system. Judge Clark, thank you and congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. First I just want to thank Jackie Felder for everything that she does. You all know it, okay? And Tony Campbell and the jazz surgery for the wonderful music. Thank you. I was jamming at the table. And Ricco Martella, where are you, Ricco? Ricco for the photography. Look, I took what Jackie said about 2 minutes, more of a mandate than a suggestion. So here we go. We've all heard the saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, that definitely describes Judge Kim Berkeley Clark. I was privileged to know her parents, who were intelligent, gracious, community-minded, and humble. Those qualities also describe their daughter, Kim. We are blessed to have her working tirelessly within the judicial system to make it better for people of all colors and from all backgrounds. She especially has made it better for children. You know, Kim is a Renaissance woman. As well as being knowledgeable in the law, she writes poetry, plays the piano, is an accomplished cook, a wonderful aunt, and a great wife to her husband, Walter. I found a poem a while ago that describes a strong woman, and it definitely completes the description of my friend, the Honorable Kim Berkeley Clark. The poem was written by Kimberly novice, and the title is, I'm a Strong Woman. I have stood firm through my storm, and I am still standing. I have rolled down many hills, only to find myself standing back up, dust myself off, and just keep it pushing. I have fought through the hardest time in my life, only to shine like the strong woman that stands before you now. I have cried a million tears and felt like life was not worth living, only to get up the next day to see that the tears had dried up and a new day had come. All right. I am a strong woman to every part of my soul. I may not look like it, but walk a day in my shoes, then tell me. I have seen things that you cannot imagine, and still I see the good in people. I've been made to be this woman that holds the world in her hands and still do not feel as if I belong. I may only be a superwoman to myself, but I am who I am in this world, and it matters not what you think of me. I have lost the best of me, and still I push on like it never happened. Please do not take that lightly. It has an effect on me like no other, but I am well aware of what I need to do to live until God lets me go. I am a strong woman. That is my friend, Kimberly Clark.
That's beautiful. And I will say this as we honor Judge Clark. I'm going to read the proclamation for you. But I will say this, just already been said, the impact that you've had in the community and in your field is unmatched. As a sorority sister, I've always looked up to you, and should only hope to be just as gracious and poised. But I'll start the proclamation. Pittsburgh City Council, whereas the Honorable Kimberly Clark is a judge for Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas in Pennsylvania. She was appointed by former Governor Tom Ridge, whereas Judge Clark has earned a bachelor's degree in French from Tennessee State University. She then completed a JD at Duquesne University School of Law in 1983. Whereas after graduating from law school, Judge Clark began her legal career as an assistant district attorney in the Allegheny County District Attorney's Office. During her tenure there, she rose through the ranks, eventually becoming deputy district attorney. Whereas Judge Clark has sat on the Pennsylvania Juvenile Court Judges Commission, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court Juvenile Procedural Rules Committee, and the Pennsylvania Commission of Crime and Delinquency. Whereas Judge Clark is a recipient of the African American Leadership Award for Excellence in Education from Duquesne Light, the Wesley Spectrum Services Black History and Diversity Hero of the Year Award, and the Judge Homer S. Brown Award from the Pittsburgh NAACP. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Council of City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Judge Clark for her lifelong dedication to law enforcement, judicial careers, and servant leadership. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, November 4th, 2022 to be Dr. Cyril WECHT, Judge Kimberly Clark, Dr. Marcia STURDIVANT, and Serena Taylor, Day in the City of Pittsburgh. And Tim Stevens! And Tim Stevens! How did I forget you? Oh, no, but we present you with this proclamation. We thank you for all you do. This honorable Lifetime Achievement Award. Lifetime Achievement, I done dropped it. Lifetime Achievement Award, Honorable Judge Kimberly Clark.
So good evening, everyone. I am really honored and humbled to receive this award. I want to give thanks to NABHI Ministries for this lovely award. And I'm humbled to be in the presence of the other honorees tonight. I want to start with Serena, who I just met today. She's our future, and we're in good hands with young people, young women like her. I think we all have great expectations for you, and we know that you're not going to let us down. You're going to do it. Dr. WECHT, I don't know if you remember, but when I was a young assistant DA and you were the coroner, you helped us in so many ways. You provide a wonderful training to the young lawyers in the DA's office, and I've really benefited from that. Tim, you do such wonderful work for our community, though you're working my husband to death, I would say. So, which is why he's not here tonight. So, but I love you, and you know, you just keep on fighting that good fight, and we're all here to help you. And Dr. Sturdivant, you have helped me in so many ways as a young judge. You know, just because you're a lawyer and you get elected doesn't mean you know anything about being a judge. And I was assigned to juvenile court when I was appointed by Governor Ridge. If I had had a choice, I would not have chosen to be in juvenile court. That was not my background. I would have chosen criminal division. And I thought, I'll be here a little bit, and as soon as I can get out, I'll get out. But juvenile court chose me. And it forged wonderful relationships. I got to see firsthand the work that Dr. Sturdivant did for children, and particularly children of color, in the child welfare system. As a result of her work, we are really looking at offering services rather than removing children. We do things like family group decision making, letting the family make the choices, and we're the leader in kinship foster care. When we have to remove children, we know that it reduces the trauma to place them with people they know and love. So thank you, Dr. Sturdivant. You are the reason that one of my goals has been to have a trauma-informed courtroom. And so you have inspired me to do that, so thank you. I am only here today because of the grace of God and because of the help of other people. No one makes it on their own. And so all those people that say, I did it all by myself, no, they didn't. They did not. I tell my good friend for 59 years, Renee, who is my executive assistant, that if you think I can do my job without you, you are sadly mistaken. I get help, and there's no shame in asking for help. So I'm just really blessed and honored to be here today. I decided, since I did mention on the video that I write poetry, and since Cynthia Baldwin read a poem, I want to share, if I can get a poem that I wrote. It's called Know Your Place, AKA Stay in Your Lane. I wrote this poem in celebration of Women's History Month. In my youth, women were told to know their place, stay home, have babies, don't enter the man's space. As a woman today, I have been told to stay in my lane. Different words, but the message is the same. I can see that the 20th century brought some women progress, but for women of color, advancement has been much less. The average woman earns 68 cents to the average man's dollar. For black women, it's 47 cents. Makes me want to holler. Where is my place? For sure, it's in the home, being wife and being mother, because nobody can nurture like a woman caring for others. But it's also in the boardroom and the courtroom. It's in the classroom and the operating room. I know my place. It's in the military and it's in outer space. I know my place. Like Rosa Parks, it's in the front of the bus, driving that bus. And like Kamala Harris, it's in the Oval Office. I know my place. Call me doctor, call me lawyer, call me teacher, call me dentist, call me scientist, call me preacher. I know our place. We have a seat at the table. Biden knows our place because we're at his table. Kamala, Susan, Deb, Gina, Kristen, Marcia, and Isabel, Brenda, Cecilia, Linda, Catherine, Julia, Marcella, and Katanji, all highly capable. But Lord, please don't tell me a seat at the table is all that we get. That when we hit that glass ceiling and can't break through, because it's our time to lead, we deserve it. It's our due. We want to sit at the head of the table to lead the discussion. Want to be on the Supreme Court to fight oppression. I will stay in my lane, but it's not in the slow lane. I will stay in my lane, but it's not the middle of the road. That's mundane. I will stay in my lane, way to the left, moving fast. I will climb, I will soar, I will succeed, what a blast. I will keep pushing and scraping until at last, everyone knows my place
is wherever I want to be, and my lane is wherever I want to go. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
Well, this was a glorious evening. Okay, so I'm not going to hold you long. I'm not speaking a lot because I left my glasses at home. That's why I have everybody speak. But I do want to say that this has been just a wonderful evening, and the honorees are definitely honorable to us in all ways. Their work is honorable, and they're just the greatest amongst us. And I love the servant leader. Each one of them serves as a servant leader. And I love that. And you all captured the meaning of that servant cry for help. I mean, that silent cry for help. That was important to us. You know, as our theme, this is our 25th NCM Awards anniversary edition. It's 27 years in our ministry. So I'm Jackie Fielder. I just want to say I'm the niece of Frankie Mae Jeter. Some of you all remember her. Welfare Rights Organization. That's where I met Mr. Tim Stevens. I was about 9, and he about 10 years older than me. And she's like, why don't you go make a record? That's what I remember her telling him. Why don't you just go ahead and sing? And he was marching and everything. So, you know, and each one of these honorees have inspired me in some type of way. Judge Kim Clark, you know, I just followed her career, and she just made us proud with that silent power. You know, she got all that authority and power, and she doesn't push it. You know, she doesn't push that. She you know, it's balanced power. Quiet storm. There you go. I love it. I love it. That servant leadership. And Dr. Marcia Sturdivant, I just read about all the accomplishments you made. It was so many. That's why I say you got character witnesses. They can verify, you know, this here stuff and your character and everything. And I was a recipient of need back in the day. Yeah, so thank you so much. Dr. Cyril WECHT. He preached at my father's funeral. My father was Doc Fielder Jr., and he passed away in 2011. We were mourning until he got up there. And he told it like it is, you know, and they're all from the Hill. I was born, people think I'm from Larmer, but I was born on Dinwiddie Street in the Hill. My family's from the Hill District. So in Serena, girl, I'm so proud of you. 4.0, and we did not put that together, that forensic stuff. It just happened after Dr. Cyril WECHT had accepted that Serena was studying at Fairmont University in forensic science and a minor in chemistry. We didn't know that. And I said, oh, you got to meet Dr. Cyril WECHT. He's gonna love that. So I'm just so proud of you all. Thank you. Thank you to the guests for coming out tonight. I want to thank NCM, NABHI Christian Ministries, our staff. Will you stand? All of you, and our volunteers and our staff, every last one of you stand. Commander Richard Stewart, our stronghold, our public relations person. He is the stronghold, and he's that power behind all this. Okay, and Minister Snowden back there. She's a great support of NCM Awards and everything that we do. So I don't want to hold you long. I know the time is of the essence. I want to thank UPMC. You can say UPMC, Highmark, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. Now the band here, Tony Campbell and Jazz Surgery, setting the atmosphere. I love that. I love that. Want to thank the Rivers Club for their hospitality this evening. Miss Deidre Lassane for stepping in at the last minute. at the last minute like that. And Chris Moore sends his love. He wanted to be here. He's always here every year. He had to go. That was his friend since he was 8 years old that passed away, so he had to leave. But he did call and check to make sure that Deirdre was taking his place. Yes. And yeah, so he sends his love, and we want to all, you know, say a prayer for that family that's in grief. So, Ricco. Ricco, I'll tell you, if nobody else is here on time, Ricco's here. And he serves, he helps, he doesn't just take pictures. I mean, he is a jack of all trades. You want to know anything about anything, call Ricco. Call Ricco. So I think I got everybody. Did I miss anybody? Because I can't see. Yes, he coordinates the video and the photography. Yes. And so I want to let everyone go. I do want to, I just want to make sure I didn't forget.
Group photo.
Who?
Honorees group photo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Ricco says the honorees are going to pose for pictures. Okay. And then after that, then you can congratulate the honorees again. I ask God to have traveling mercies for each and every one of us tonight. Thank you for coming. Good night.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can bring you more videos on subjects like this and many other topics. Please leave any comments in the comment section. Any questions or comments, I'll get back to them as soon as I possibly can. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.